The news that many Caitlin Clark fans have been waiting for has finally arrived. The Indiana Fever announced the dismissal of head coach Christie Sides, and there's no better way to start this video than by reading the official statement that just came out. The Indiana Fever announced on Sunday that the organization has parted ways with head coach Christie Sides. We are incredibly thankful to Coach Sides for embracing the challenge of leading us through an integral transition period over the last 2 seasons, while also positioning us well for future growth, said Fever President of Basketball Operations Kelly Krauskopf. While decisions like these are never easy, it is also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana. This dismissal proves that the franchise is determined to do whatever it takes to pursue a WNBA championship with Caitlin Clark next year. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and let's analyze why this change was so necessary. Let's start by looking at the numbers that led to this decision. Christie Sides spent just 2 seasons at the helm of the Fever, with an overall record of 33 wins and 47 losses. In her first season in 2023, the team finished with 13 wins and 27 losses. In 2024, even with Caitlin Clark, the team only managed to improve to 20 wins and 20 losses. Now, you might be thinking, but the team improved, made the playoffs for the first time since 2016, why fire her now? And that's exactly the point. The Fever no longer has time for gradual improvement. With Caitlin Clark on the roster, the team needed much better results. Let's look at Clark's numbers under Sides: 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.4 assists per game. Are these good numbers for a rookie? Yes, but we're talking about Caitlin Clark, the same player who dominated college basketball, broke record after record, and transformed Iowa into a national powerhouse. And what's most concerning wasn't just the numbers, but how Sides utilized Clark on the court. The tactical limitations were visible game after game. Instead of giving Clark the freedom to play her natural game, which includes long-range shots and creative plays, Sides tried to force a more conservative style. The problem became even more evident when we look at the total talent on the roster. Besides Clark, the Fever has Aaliyah Boston, last year's WNBA Rookie of the Year, and Kelsey Mitchell, one of the league's best shooters. With this trio, finishing the season at 20 wins and 20 losses is simply unacceptable. As reported by some Bluder, there are already rumors that Stephanie White, current Connecticut Sun head coach and winner of the 2023 Coach of the Year award, is interested in the position. And this shows us that the Fever isn't just firing Sides, they're preparing to take a major leap in quality. Now, let's analyze more deeply the main tactical problems that led to Christie Sides' dismissal. And there were quite a few. The first and most serious was how she limited Caitlin Clark's offensive game. For anyone who watched Clark at Iowa, it was painful to see how Sides' system restricted what the player does best. Instead of allowing Clark to use her extraordinary 3-point shooting ability, Sides insisted on plays that forced mid-range shots. The rotations were also a serious problem. A clear example was how she waited to put Lexi Hull in the starting lineup, even when it was obvious the player deserved the chance. And when she finally made the change, the team improved significantly. But perhaps Sides' most glaring error was her timeouts, or rather, the lack of them. It was common to see the opposing team on a 15-0 run, and Sides simply watching from the sideline, making no adjustments. For a league at the WNBA's level, this kind of passivity is unacceptable. And let's talk about game-winning plays. There was one specific game that perfectly summarizes Sides' tactical problems. The team needed a 3-pointer to win. And what was the design play? A ball for Aaliyah Boston to shoot from the perimeter. That's right. With Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell on the court, 2 of the league's best shooters, she designed a play for a center to attempt a 3. Her justification after the game was even more revealing. Sides said that since the opponents were guarding Clark and Mitchell, she thought Boston being open would be a surprise. Well, it was a surprise for everyone, including Boston herself. And this leads us to another crucial point: the lack of in-game adjustments. While other teams made effective adjustments, especially against Clark, Sides seemed to have no plan B. It was as if she expected the player's individual talent to solve everything on its own. The start of the 2024 season was especially concerning. The team started with a 2-9 record, and even with the subsequent recovery, it was clear that success came more from the players' individual talent than from any coherent strategy from Sides. And now comes the most exciting part: what to expect from the Indiana Fever's future. With Sides' departure, the franchise has a unique opportunity to take the next step toward a championship. And according to Annie Costabile of the Chicago Sun-Times, all signs point to Stephanie White as the favorite to take the position. White has a deep history with the Fever. She played for the team from 2000 to 2004, then was an assistant coach from 2011 to 2014, and finally head coach in 2015 and 2016. Most importantly, she was on the coaching staff when the Fever won the WNBA championship in 2012. White is from Indiana, played college basketball at Purdue, and deeply understands Indiana basketball culture. But there's another name making fans dream: Lisa Bluder. Why? Simple. She was Caitlin Clark's coach at Iowa for 4 years. Bluder knows Clark's game like no one else, having been instrumental in her development as a player. However, as reported, Stephanie White seems to really be the #1 candidate. In her 2 seasons with the Connecticut Sun, she took the team to the playoffs consecutively, and more importantly, she has demonstrated an incredible ability to maximize her players' talent. The new president of basketball operations, Kelly Krauskopf, made it clear in the official statement that the goal is maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana. And with the current roster, this isn't just a distant dream. The timing of this change is also crucial. With WNBA expansion approaching, the Golden State Valkyries expansion draft is set for December, and with players able to opt out of the collective bargaining agreement after the 2025 season, the Fever needs to take advantage of this window of opportunity. And now, let's talk about what really matters: Caitlin Clark's unlocked potential under new leadership. Her numbers in her rookie season were already impressive: 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.4 assists, earning Rookie of the Year honors. But anyone who watched Clark at Iowa knows this is just the tip of the iceberg of what she can do. With a coach who truly understands her game, Clark can significantly elevate these numbers. And we're not just talking about points, we're talking about how she can completely transform the Fever's offense. The combination of Clark with Aaliyah Boston has the potential to be one of the best duos in WNBA history. Boston, who was also Rookie of the Year in her rookie season, is the perfect pick-and-roll partner for Clark. Add Kelsey Mitchell to that equation, one of the league's most lethal shooters, and you have an offensive trio that's practically unstoppable. And here's the crucial point: the Fever isn't just building for the future, they want to win now. The dismissal of Sides, even after a season with improved results, sends a clear message: mediocrity is no longer acceptable. With Clark, Boston, and Mitchell, this team has dynasty potential. Clark's immediate success in the WNBA proves that she's more than ready to lead a team to a championship. Now, she just needs a coach who understands how to utilize her full potential, who allows her to play her natural game, who builds an offensive system around her unique abilities. The dismissal of Christie Sides isn't about what she did wrong, but about what the Indiana Fever can do right. This is a decisive moment for the franchise. With Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever has the pieces to build a dynasty. Now, with the possible arrival of Stephanie White, or even Lisa Bluder, the sky's the limit. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, who do you want to see as the next Fever head coach? See you next time!